Disgrace by J. M. Coetzee. Chapter 5. She does not appear for her examination on Monday. Instead, in his mailbox, he finds an official withdrawal card. Student 7710101 Sam, Miss M. Isaacs, has withdrawn from Com 312 with immediate effect. Barely an hour later, a telephone call is switched through to his office. Professor Lurie, have you a moment to talk? My name is Isaacs. I'm calling from George. My daughter is in your class, you know, Melanie. Yes? Professor, I wonder if you can help us. Melanie has been such a good student, and now she says she's going to give it all up. It has come as a terrible shock to us. I'm not sure I understand. She wants to give up her studies and get a job. It seems such a waste to spend 3 years at university and do so well, and then drop out before the end. I wonder if I can ask Professor, can you have a chat with her? Talk some sense into her? Have you spoken to Melanie yourself? Do you know what is behind this decision? We spent all weekend on the phone to her, her mother and I, but we just can't get sense out of her. She is very involved in a play she is acting in, so maybe she is, overworked, overstressed. She always takes things so to heart, Professor. That's her nature. She gets very involved. But if you talk to her, maybe you can persuade her to think again. She has such respect for you. We don't want her to throw away all these years for nothing. So, Melanie Melani, with her baubles from the Oriental Plaza and her blind spot for Wordsworth, takes things to heart. He would not have guessed it. What else has he not guessed about her? I wonder, Mr. Isaacs, whether I am the right person to speak to Melanie. You are, Professor, you are. As I say, Melanie has such respect for you. Respect? You are out of date, Mr. Isaacs. Your daughter lost respect for me weeks ago, and with good reason. That is what he ought to say. I'll see what I can do, he says instead. You will not get away with it, he tells himself afterwards. Nor will Father Isaacs in faraway George forget this conversation with its lies and evasions. I'll see what I can do. Why not come clean? I am the worm in the apple, he should have said. How can I help you when I am the very source of your woe? He telephones the flat and gets Cousin Pauline. Melanie is not available, says Pauline in a chilly voice. What do you mean, not available? I mean she doesn't want to speak to you. Tell her, he says, it is about her decision to withdraw. Tell her she's being very rash. Wednesday's class goes badly. Friday's even worse. Attendance is poor. The only students who come are the tame ones, the passive, the docile. There can be only one explanation. The story must be out. He is in the department office when he hears a voice behind him. Where can I find Professor Lurie? Here I am, he says, without thinking. The man who has spoken is small, thin, stoop-shouldered. He wears a blue suit too large for him. He smells of cigarette smoke. Professor Lurie, we spoke on the telephone. Isaacs. Yes, how do you do? Shall we go to my office? That won't be necessary. The man pauses, gathers himself, takes a deep breath. Professor, he begins, laying heavy stress on the word. You may be very educated and all that, but what you have done is not right. He pauses, shakes his head. It is not right. The two secretaries do not pretend to hide their curiosity. There are students in the office too. As the stranger's voice rises, they fall silent. We put our children in the hands of you people because we think we can trust you. If we can't trust the university, who can we trust? We never thought we were sending our daughter into a nest of vipers. No, Professor Lurie, you may be high and mighty and have all kinds of degrees, but if I was you, I'd be very ashamed of myself, so help me God. If I've got hold of the wrong end of the stick, now is your chance to say so, but I don't think so. I can see it from your face. Now is his chance indeed. Let him who would speak, speak. But he stands, tongue-tied, the blood thudding in his ears. A viper. How can he deny it? Excuse me, he whispers. I have business to attend to. Like a thing of wood, he turns and leaves. Into the crowded corridor, Isaacs follows him. Professor! Professor Lurie, he calls. You can't just run away like that. You have not heard the last of it, I tell you now. That is how it begins. Next morning, with surprising dispatch, a memorandum arrives from the office of the Vice Rector, Student Affairs, notifying him that a complaint has been lodged against him under Article 3.1 of the university's Code of Conduct. He is requested to contact the Vice Rector's office at his earliest convenience. The notification, which arrives in an envelope marked confidential, is accompanied by a copy of the code. Article 3 deals with victimization or harassments on ground of race, ethnic group, religion, gender, sexual preference, or physical disability. Article 3.1 addresses victimization or harassment of students by teachers. A second document describes the constitution and competencies of committees of inquiry. He reads it, his heart hammering unpleasantly. Halfway through, his concentration fails. He gets up, locks the door of his office, and sits with the paper in his hand, trying to imagine what has happened. Melanie would not have taken such a step by herself, he is convinced. She is too innocent for that, too ignorant of her power. He, the little man in the ill-fitting suit, must be behind it. He and Cousin Pauline, the plain one, the duenna. They must have talked her into it, worn her down, and then in the end marched her to the administration offices. We want to lodge a complaint, they must have said. Lodge a complaint? What kind of complaint? It's private. Harassment, Cousin Pauline would have interjected, while Melanie stood by abashed. Against a professor. Go to room such and such. In room such and such, he, Isaacs, would grow bolder. We want to lay a complaint against one of your professors. Have you thought it through? Is this really what you want to do? They would respond, following procedure. Yes, we know what we want to do, he would say, glancing at his daughter, daring her to object. There is a form to fill in. The form is placed before them, and a pen. A hand takes up the pen, a hand he has kissed, a hand he knows intimately. First, the name of the plaintiff, Melanie Isaacs, in careful block letters. Down the column of boxes wavers the hand, searching for the one to tick. There, points the nicotine-stained finger of her father. The hand slows, settles, makes its X, its cross of righteousness, j'accuse. Then a space for the name of the accused. David Lurie, writes the hand, Professor. Finally, at the foot of the page, the date and her signature, the arabesque of the M, the L with its bold upper loop, the downward gash of the I, and the flourish of the final S. The deed is done. 2 names on the page, his and hers, side by side. 2 in a bed, lovers no longer, but foes. He calls the Vice Rector's office and is given a 5 o'clock appointment, outside regular hours. At 5 o'clock he is waiting in the corridor. Aram Hakim, sleek and youthful, emerges and ushers him in. There are already 2 persons in the room, Elaine Winter, chair of his department, and Ferodia Rasool from Social Sciences, who chairs the university-wide committee on discrimination. It's late, David. We know why we are here, says Hakim, so let's get to the point. How can we best tackle this business? You can fill me in about the complaint. Very well. We are talking about a complaint laid by Miss Melanie Isaacs, also about, he glances at Elaine Winter, some pre-existing irregularities that seem to involve Miss Isaacs. Elaine? Elaine Winter takes her cue. She has never liked him. She regards him as a hangover from the past. The sooner cleared away, the better. There is a query about Miss Isaacs' attendance, David. According to her, I spoke to her on the phone. She has attended only 2 classes in the past month. If that is true, it should have been reported. She also says she missed the midterm test, yet she glances at the file in front of her. According to your records, her attendance is unblemished and she has a mark of 70 for the midterm. She regards him quizzically. So, unless there are two Melanie Isaacs? There is only one, he says. I have no defense. Smoothly, Hakim intervenes. Friends, this is not the time or place to go into substantial issues. What we should do, he glances at the other two, is clarify procedure. I need barely say, David, the matter will be handled in the strictest confidence, I can assure you of that. Your name will be protected. Miss Isaac's name will be protected too. A committee will be set up. Its function will be to determine whether there are grounds for disciplinary measures. You or your legal representative will have an opportunity to challenge its composition. Its hearings will be held in camera. In the meantime, until the committee has made its recommendation to the rector and the rector has acted, everything goes on as before. Miss Isaacs has officially withdrawn from the course she takes with you, and you will be expected to refrain from all contact with her. Is there anything I am omitting, Verodia? Elaine? Tight-lipped, Dr. Rasool shakes her head. It's always complicated, this harassment business, David. Complicated as well as unfortunate, but we believe our procedures are good and fair, so we'll just take it step by step, play it by the book. My one suggestion is acquaint yourself with the procedures and perhaps get legal advice. He is about to reply, but Hakim raises a warning hand. Sleep on it, David, he says. He has had enough. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not a child. He leaves in a fury. But the building is locked and the doorkeeper has gone home. The back exit is locked too. Hakim has to let him out. It is raining. Share my umbrella, says Hakim. Then at his car. Speaking personally, David, I want to tell you, you have all my sympathy, really. These things can be hell. He has known Hakim for years. They used to play tennis together in his tennis-playing days, but he is in no mood now for male chumminess. He shrugs irritably, gets into his car. The case is supposed to be confidential, but of course it is not. Of course people talk. Why else, when he enters the common room, does a hush fall on the chatter? Why does the younger colleague, with whom he has hitherto had perfectly cordial relations, put down her teacup and depart, looking straight through him as she passes? Why do only 2 students turn up for the first Baudelaire class? The gossip mill, he thinks, turning day and night, grinding reputations. The community of the righteous holding their sessions in corners, over the telephone, behind closed doors. Gleeful whispers, Schadenfreude, first the sentence, then the trial. In the corridors of the communications building, he makes a point of walking with head held high. He speaks to the lawyer who handled his divorce. Let's get it clear first, says the lawyer. How true are the allegations? True enough, I was having an affair with the girl. Serious? Does seriousness make it better or worse? After a certain age, all affairs are serious, like heart attacks. Well, my advice would be, as a matter of strategy, get a woman to represent you. He mentions 2 names. Aim for a private settlement. You give certain undertakings, perhaps take a spell of leave, in return for which the university persuades the girl or her family to drop the charges. Your best hope. Take a yellow card. Minimize the damage. Wait for the scandal to blow over. What kind of undertakings? Sensitivity training, community service, counseling, whatever you can negotiate. Counseling? I need counseling. Don't misunderstand me. I'm simply saying that one of the options offered to you might be counseling. To fix me? To cure me? To cure me of inappropriate desires? The lawyer shrugs. Whatever. On campus, it is Rape Awareness Week. Women Against Rape, War announces a 24-hour vigil in solidarity with recent victims. A pamphlet is slipped under his door. Women speak out. Scrawled in pencil at the bottom is a message. Your days are over, Casanova. He has dinner with his ex-wife, Rosalind. They have been apart for 8 years. Slowly, warily, they are growing to be friends again, of a sort. War veterans. It reassures him that Rosalind still lives nearby. Perhaps she feels the same way about him. Someone to count on when the worst arrives. The fall in the bathroom, the blood in the stool. They speak of Lucy, sole issue of his first marriage, living now on a farm in the Eastern Cape. I may see her soon, he says. I'm thinking of taking a trip. In term time. Term is nearly over. Another 2 weeks to get through, that's all. Has this anything to do with the problems you are having? I hear you are having problems. Where did you hear that? People talk, David. Everyone knows about this latest affair of yours, in the juiciest detail. It is in no one's interest to hush it up. No one's but your own. Am I allowed to tell you how stupid it looks? No, you are not. I will anyway. Stupid. And ugly too. I don't know what you do about sex, and I don't want to know. But this is not the way to go about it. You're what, 52? Do you think a young girl finds any pleasure in going to bed with a man of that age? Do you think she finds it good to watch you in the middle of your... Do you ever think about that? He is silent. Don't expect sympathy from me, David, and don't expect sympathy from anyone else either. No sympathy, no mercy, not in this day and age. Everyone's hand will be against you, and why not? Really, how could you? The old tone has entered, the tone of the last years of their married life, passionate recrimination. Even Rosalind must be aware of that. Yet perhaps she has a point. Perhaps it is the right of the young to be protected from the sight of their elders in the throes of passion. This is what whores are for, after all, to put up with the ecstasies of the unlovely. Anyway, Rosalind goes on, you say you'll see Lucy? Yes, I thought I'd drive up after the inquiry and spend some time with her. The inquiry? There is a committee of inquiry sitting next week. That's very quick. And after you have seen Lucy? I don't know. I'm not sure I will be permitted to come back to the university. I'm not sure I will want to. Rosalind shakes her head. An inglorious end to your career, don't you think? I won't ask if what you got from the girl was worth the price. What are you going to do with your time? What about your pension? I'll come to some arrangement with them. They can't cut me off without a penny. Can't they? Don't be so sure. How old is she, your inamorata? 20. Of age. Old enough to know her own mind. The story is she took sleeping pills. Is that true? I know nothing about sleeping pills. Sounds like a fabrication to me. Who told you about sleeping pills? She ignores the question. Was she in love with you? Did you jilt her? No, neither. Then why this complaint? Who knows? She didn't confide in me. There was a battle of some kind going on behind the scenes that I wasn't privy to. There was a jealous boyfriend. There were indignant parents. She must have crumpled in the end. I was taken completely by surprise. You should have known, David. You are too old to be meddling with other people's children. You should have expected the worst. Anyway, it's all very demeaning, really. You haven't asked whether I love her. Aren't you supposed to ask that as well? Very well, are you in love with this young woman who is dragging your name through the mud? She isn't responsible. Don't blame her. Don't blame her? Whose side are you on? Of course I blame her. I blame you and I blame her. The whole thing is disgraceful from beginning to end. Disgraceful and vulgar too. And I'm not sorry for saying so. In the old days he would, at this point, have stormed out. But tonight he does not. They have grown thick skins, he and Rosalind, against each other. The next day Rosalind telephones. David, have you seen today's Argus? No. Well, steel yourself. There's a piece about you. And what does it say? Read it for yourself. The report is on page 3. Professor on sex charge, it is headed. He skims the first lines. Is slated to appear before a disciplinary board on a charge of sexual harassment. CTU is keeping tight-lipped about the latest in a series of scandals, including fraudulent scholarship payouts and alleged sex rings operating out of student residences. Lurie, 53, author of a book on English nature poet William Wordsworth, was not available for comment. William Wordsworth, 1770 to 1850, nature poet. David Lurie, 1945, to commentator upon and disgraced disciple of William Wordsworth. Blessed be the infant babe, no outcast he. Blessed be the babe.